And I hung the phone up. I went upstairs. I said, Marjorie, I said, Marjorie, we got a problem. When I explained it to her, Marjorie started crying.
Matters. And today we have an issue and a woman who is here to talk about what's really going on. I am here with Marjorie Harvey.
Steve Harvey's life shines as a symbol of success. The TV host and author, known for his charm and wit, has earned the title of America's family man. He shares relationship and parenting advice, always upholding a flawless public image. But as the saying goes, appearances can be deceiving. There's more beneath the surface.
Special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
Today, we're delving into a story that could shatter the carefully crafted facade Steve Harvey has maintained for years. Prepare yourself for shocking revelations linking Harvey to none other than scene Diddy comms. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just about Steve's divorce or Diddy's legal issues. It's about an alleged affair that could unveil a Harvey we never knew. So get ready as we dive into a world of secrets, betrayal, and the hidden side of celebrity life.
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
Diddy's recent arrest has rocked the entertainment world, as the once untouchable mogul now faces serious legal charges. While the specifics of his alleged crimes have left fans in shock, the real bombshell lies in what his arrest has revealed about other celebrities. Steve Harvey, with his clean-cut image and blunt honesty, may not be as innocent as he appears. At the storm's center is Steve's ex-wife, Mary Shackelford, who claims to hold a dark secret that could completely shatter Harvey's public persona.
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact,
Let's take a step back. In the early 2000s, Steve and Mary were a well-known Hollywood couple. On the surface, they seemed like a power duo, but behind the scenes, their marriage was falling apart. According to Mary, things began to unravel after she caught Steve in a scandalous situation, one that involved none other than Diddy. Yes, the same Diddy now facing criminal charges for alleged involvement in an illegal enterprise. Rumor has it that Mary caught Steve at one of Diddy's notorious parties, a night that left her shaken and sent their marriage into a downward spiral. Curious about what happened, insiders claim Mary allegedly walked in on Steve and Diddy in a compromising position that left her reeling. It's said that Steve was deeply involved in Diddy's party scene, a world of excess and indulgence far from the wholesome image he projected on television.
Hey, Marjorie, the thing that Marjorie's not telling you all.
telling everybody's
Yes,
business. Okay, now don't let me start telling Steve's business.
But here's the kicker. Mary claims that after she caught Steve with Diddy, she was sworn to secrecy. And how, you ask? Steve didn't just rely on her good faith to stay quiet. Reportedly, he paid her a hefty sum during their divorce settlement to ensure she wouldn't reveal what really happened that night. On the surface, it looked like a standard divorce with property division and financial settlements. But according to Mary, part of that money wasn't for splitting assets. It was hush money.
You know, he's a man with the power. He's in 60 markets. He's written these books. You know, he's socially connected with the programs and Disney and all these type people.
Imagine this. Steve Harvey, the man who preaches faith, family values, and moral integrity, could have been leading a double life. Could the Steve Harvey we've watched on TV for years be hiding a secret so dark it would shatter his career? If Mary's claims are true, then everything we believed about him might just be a carefully constructed facade. Of course, Steve has always denied any involvement in such scandals, claiming that his divorce from Mary was simply due to irreconcilable differences. But Mary's recent revelations suggest otherwise. She has hinted for years that there was more to the story. And now, with Diddy's legal troubles in the spotlight, she's ready to expose it.
You know,
all.
I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine, but in the public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in the jail.
The timing of this revelation couldn't be worse for Steve. Diddy's arrest has revived memories of the wild party scene he was once deeply involved in. These weren't just casual gatherings. They were extravagant, exclusive events where some of the industry's most powerful figures converge. Now, the rumors of what really went down at these parties are resurfacing, painting a troubling picture that could unravel Steve's carefully maintained public image.
Please, stop. Stop ignoring the red flags in your relationship and thinking you can change a man.
Mary's account aligns with what we know about Diddy's controversial gatherings, notorious for their extravagance. These events were more than mere parties. They were spectacles of excess that blurred the lines between personal and professional relationships. According to Mary, Steve was deeply entrenched in this wild scene.
He took my Winton. Took my Winton from me. He turned my son against me.
What's even more intriguing is the power dynamics that seemingly play out behind closed doors. Steve wasn't just an attendee at these parties. He was allegedly a key player, someone with a vested interest in keeping these gatherings and his involvement a secret. Reports suggest that Steve's fear went beyond just a tarnished reputation. It was about losing everything: his TV empire, endorsements, and, most importantly, his image as the perfect family man. If word got out, it could all come crashing down. But here's where the real twist lies. It wasn't just about the parties. Mary has implied that Steve was terrified of what she might say, not only due to the potential damage to his career, but also because of what it would reveal about his relationship with Diddy. According to her, Steve wasn't just worried about being exposed for attending these parties. He feared that the truth about his personal interactions with Diddy would be unveiled. Now, with Diddy's arrest pulling back the curtain on years of secretive behavior, it seems Mary might finally be ready to share everything she knows.
There's no closure for me. As of today, there was never any closure at all.
For years, Mary remained silent, accepting her settlement and moving on with her life, or so it seemed. However, the truth has a peculiar way of surfacing when least expected. With Diddy now facing serious charges, Mary finds herself at a crossroads. Should she continue to keep Steve's secrets, or is it time to spill the tea and reveal what truly happened all those years ago?
You know, I know you just started dating this year, so how are we going to handle that?
Mary's decision to speak out couldn't come at a worse time for Steve. His empire is more prominent than ever, with multiple TV shows, best-selling books, and an army of fans who view him as a role model. However, all of that could come crashing down if Mary's claims are true. After all, no one wants to see their hero fall, especially someone who has built a career on being a beacon of morality and family values.
But what would you say? What's been the key to our success?
The fact that you respect me and I respect you.
It's hard to determine how much of Mary's story is rooted in fact and how much may be exaggerated, but one thing is clear. Diddy's arrest has opened the door for old wounds to resurface. It's not just Steve's reputation on the line. If Mary's allegations gain traction, he could face public scrutiny like never before. The media frenzy surrounding Diddy's arrest has already brought attention to the darker side of celebrity life, and Steve could easily find himself caught in the crossfire. Moreover, the public's appetite for scandal has never been stronger. In an age where social media spreads information at lightning speed, Steve won't be able to escape the whispers and rumors. Every move he makes will be scrutinized, and every past relationship or questionable friendship will be re-examined under the harsh light of public opinion. Let's not forget that Steve's ex-wife isn't the only one who might have dirt on him. Hollywood is a small world, and as we've seen time and again, when one person speaks out, others often follow. So, could there be more individuals out there who know about Steve's alleged involvement in Diddy's world? If so, how long before they begin sharing their own stories?
The evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those 2 raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named for.
At this point, all eyes are on Steve Harvey. Will he be able to uphold his squeaky clean image? Or will the mounting rumors and accusations finally bring him down? Only time will tell. One thing's for sure. Steve's life is about to get significantly more complicated. As more information emerges, it's becoming increasingly difficult to separate fact from fiction, and the lines between Steve's public persona and his private life are starting to blur.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So I love my man, but what you mean, but?
With Mary Shackelford poised to share her side of the story, the world is left wondering just how deep this goes. Is Steve Harvey merely guilty by association, or has he been living a double life all along? Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning of what could become one of the biggest celebrity scandals of the decade. And speaking of scandals, we haven't even scratched the surface regarding the suspicious details surrounding Steve's current marriage to Marjorie. If you thought his past was messy, wait until you hear what's been happening behind the scenes with his new wife. Could Marjorie be hiding secrets of her own that would further tarnish Steve's already fragile image?
My wife, she got up with me. She was the best.
As the revelations about Steve Harvey's past continue to unfold, the question on everyone's mind is whether his current marriage to Marjorie Harvey is as pristine as it appears. If Steve's image as a family man is already teetering on the edge due to the shocking claims from his ex-wife Mary, Marjorie's own history could push him over the brink. So let's dive into this next chapter. The tangled web of Steve's relationship with Marjorie, a woman with a complex past that contrasts sharply with the wholesome image they project today. We all know that Steve and Marjorie have been presenting themselves as a power couple, the picture-perfect duo vacationing around the globe, flaunting luxury, and hosting family gatherings that make everyone else's look dull in comparison. But what if we told you that their seemingly glamorous life is concealing a much darker reality?
You are the prize. Don't give yourself to anybody.
It turns out Marjorie's past is not as squeaky clean as her high-fashion, jet-setting lifestyle would suggest. Before becoming Mrs. Harvey, she was linked to not one, but 2 men with rather notorious reputations. That's right. Marjorie's past relationships have been the subject of intense speculation for years, and now, with Steve's current drama unfolding, those skeletons are beginning to creep back out of the closet.
Let's first say that you shouldn't feel guilty for anything.
So, who were these men? Let's start with Marjorie's first known relationship. She was once married to Jim Townsend, a man who, according to various reports, was involved in some very shady activities back in the day. Townsend was no ordinary businessman. He allegedly ran a high-level enterprise that caught the attention of federal authorities. Eventually, he found himself behind bars for attempting to move massive quantities of illegal substances across state lines. Now you can probably guess where this is going. Marjorie, as the story goes, was deeply intertwined with his life during that time. While she was never charged with any crimes herself, rumors swirl that she was very much aware of Townsend's activities. Here's where things get even more intriguing. Jim Townsend has spoken out about his relationship with Marjorie after spending over 2 decades in prison. Upon his release, he wasted no time dropping bombshells about his ex-wife. According to Townsend, Marjorie knew a lot more than she let on, and her involvement in his life wasn't as innocent as she portrayed. He's even hinted at planning to write a tell-all book exposing the full extent of what transpired during their marriage. Can you imagine the secrets that book might hold? If Marjorie was linked to illegal activity, what does that say about the man who later married her, knowing full well about her past? But hold on, it doesn't stop there. After her marriage to Townsend fell apart, Marjorie didn't exactly live a quiet life. Instead, she found herself in yet another controversial relationship, this time with Donald Woods. And guess what? Woods also had a reputation that would raise eyebrows. He was allegedly involved in high-stakes underground operations. Again, Marjorie was never officially implicated in any wrongdoing, but once you look at the pattern, it becomes harder to ignore the company she kept.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Well, Steve's learning that the hard way tonight. Steve's ex-wife, Marjorie Harvey, is angry, and she's going public.
By the time Marjorie crossed paths with Steve Harvey, she had already weathered 2 high-profile relationships with men whose activities had landed them in serious trouble. This begs the question: did Steve know about Marjorie's past when he fell for her? If he did, why didn't it raise any red flags? After all, this is the same Steve Harvey who preaches about moral values, integrity, and finding the right person to settle down with. Yet the woman he chose to build his life with had a track record that suggested anything but a clean slate.
Stand-up comedian, entertainer, television host, family man. But most importantly, I happen to be a man of faith.
Now, you're probably thinking, okay, so Marjorie's past is sketchy, but does that really mean anything for Steve's reputation? Well, here's where things get even more suspicious. According to various insiders, Marjorie's connections to these controversial figures might have played a role in how she and Steve built their empire. Some whispers suggest that Steve's meteoric rise to fame and fortune wasn't entirely based on his talent and charm. Instead, there are rumors that Marjorie's past connections helped open certain doors for Steve, doors that would have otherwise remained closed. Could it be that Steve's current success is, at least in part, a result of Marjorie's involvement with powerful and potentially dangerous people? Of course, Steve and Marjorie have always brushed off these rumors, presenting a united front and claiming that their love story is one for the ages. However, if you dig a little deeper, you'll find that their relationship has been marred by scandal from the very beginning. When Steve married Marjorie in 2007, many people raised their eyebrows, not just because of her past, but because of the timing. You see, Steve was fresh off his divorce from Mary, and there were already rumors swirling that his relationship with Marjorie might have begun before his marriage to Mary officially ended.
The fact that financially my life is in a shamble, that is absolutely true.
There are claims that Steve and Marjorie were involved long before his divorce papers were signed. This suggests that Steve wasn't exactly the faithful husband he portrayed himself to be. In fact, some speculate that his entire relationship with Marjorie was built on lies and deceit, and that he was willing to do whatever it took to be with her, even if it meant betraying the vows he made to Mary. Let's not forget that Mary herself has hinted at this in interviews, stating that Steve's relationship with Marjorie was one of the main reasons their marriage fell apart. So, was Steve really the victim in his divorce, or was he playing both sides the whole time?
There are some problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see.
Fast forward to the present, and Steve and Marjorie seem to have it all. They've built a massive empire together, with Steve hosting multiple TV shows, writing books, and making millions from endorsement deals. Meanwhile, Marjorie has positioned herself as a fashion icon and influencer, boasting millions of followers on social media. However, with all these new allegations coming to light, first about Steve's potential involvement with Diddy, and now about Marjorie's questionable past, the cracks in their perfect facade are starting to show. Let's talk about those cracks for a moment. If Steve is truly guilty of the things his ex-wife Mary claims, if he was indeed involved in Diddy's party scene, and if Marjorie's past connections played a role in his success, what does that mean for the empire they've built? Could it all come crashing down? Right now, it's hard to say, but one thing's for sure. Steve and Marjorie are going to have a tough time maintaining their golden image as more people begin to question what's really happening behind the scenes.
All right, I got to take some time to address this here.
As if that wasn't enough, there's also speculation that Marjorie might not be as loyal to Steve as she appears. Over the years, there have been whispers of infidelity, with some even suggesting that Marjorie has been involved in romantic entanglements outside her marriage to Steve. These rumors have never been confirmed, of course, but the mere fact that they exist raises questions about the true state of Steve and Marjorie's marriage. Are they really the perfect couple they claim to be, or are they just putting on a show for the cameras while their real relationship crumbles behind closed doors?
Now, so what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released.
And let's not forget about the FBI investigation. With Diddy's legal troubles making headlines, some are starting to wonder if Steve's association with Diddy has landed him in hot water too. Remember, Steve and Diddy go way back. And if Steve was truly involved in the same circles as Diddy during those wild years, there's no telling what kind of skeletons might be lurking in his closet. Could the FBI be looking into Steve's connections as part of their broader investigation into Diddy's alleged criminal activities? While there's no concrete evidence to suggest that Steve is being investigated at this point, it's definitely a possibility that can't be ruled out. At the end of the day, it's clear that the story of Steve and Marjorie Harvey is far more complicated than it appears. Behind the glamorous vacations, designer clothes, and perfectly curated social media posts lies a deeper, darker story at play. Whether it's Steve's alleged involvement with Diddy's party scene, Marjorie's questionable past, or the rumors of infidelity and scandal, it seems like the Harvey empire is built on shaky ground. With all these revelations coming to light, it's only a matter of time before something.
So I don't give them no energy. I give haters no energy. Steve ain't this, he think he this. You don't even know me.
So, what happens next? Will Steve and Marjorie continue to maintain their image, or will the pressure of these rumors finally bring them down? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. As more information surfaces, we'll be keeping a close eye on how Steve and Marjorie respond and whether they can weather the brewing storm. Let's face it, in Hollywood, no one's secrets stay hidden forever. But before we wrap this up, let's ask the real question. How much longer can Steve keep up the charade? If even half of these rumors are true, his days as America's beloved family man are numbered. As more details about Diddy's legal troubles and Marjorie's past continue to emerge, Steve's clean-cut image might just be the next casualty in this ever-growing scandal.
But it's been like that since 2005.
Why,
so this
though?
is nothing.
But why is it in shambles?
Because we have a man of power and authority, and he used.
After hearing all these explosive revelations, what do you think? Is Steve Harvey's pristine image as a family man just a cleverly maintained illusion? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? And what about Marjorie? Do you believe her past connections have played a role in Steve's success, or is it all just coincidence? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And until next time, stay curious.